Hey guys, it's Josh here with Porter Valley Ranch and Hobby Farms, and today we're going to talk about a few steps you can take to ensure that you have a successful fall lambing season on your farm. So the gestation of a sheep is 152 days, which means that you can safely have 2 breeding seasons inside of a year if you so choose. If you're like us on our farm, we went through our fall breeding season, and for some reason, some of our ewes did not get bred. Some of them were too young, we had a new ram. Whatever the case is, you want to make sure that all of your ewes get bred, and sometimes that just doesn't happen in the fall. So whether you're looking to breed your ewes a second time for the year, or whether there were some that were missed and you want them to have lambs in the fall, here are some steps you can take to make that happen. So one way is going through an AI, or artificial insemination. You're going to need to go to the vet, you're going to need to get a semen drawn off of the ram and then gone into the ewe. It's a pretty expensive process and not something that we usually do here on our farm, but that is one option for you. The second option, and one that we are going to do this year, one that we have successfully done in the past, is using CIDRs. CIDRs are controlled intravaginal drug release. It is basically something that you put into the ewe and it puts out a progesterone. I'm not going to get into all the science of that. You can read the article linked below to get into that, but basically you put this into the ewe, leave it there for a couple of days, and when you take it out, it syncs up their cycle and makes them and the ram both interested and ready to breed. This is a common practice on a lot of hobby farms. Not only can you use it in the spring to get that fall lambing season, you could also use it in the fall just to make sure that all of your ewes are more synchronized. Sometimes your ewes come into heat at different times. You have lambs born at staggered times throughout the year. So this is one way that you can try to get them all coming into cycle closer. So when that ram is ready, the ewes are ready, and all of your lambs hit the ground at the same time. It's extremely safe, and there are a lot of detailed instructions that come with the product. This is an over-the-counter product. You can buy it on a lot of the farm supply websites. You might even be able to get it through your local farm store or through your vet, but all of them have very detailed instructions on how to use the product and what to do with it. So if you choose to use the CIDR method like we're going to here in May and June on our farm, there are a few steps that you need to follow. Number one, you need to make sure that the ewe is not currently pregnant. There are a lot of different ways that you can do that, but introducing this hormone to them if they are currently bred is going to cause some problems. So make sure they are not already bred. Step 2 is going to be to purchase the CIDRs from one of the online or local stores and then use the product guide, follow the instructions for success. Step 3 is going to be to get a breeding harness. I cannot emphasize how much easier this makes our life on our small farm. You put the breeding harness on your ram and then you know when he is marking and breeding those ewes. It's not an exact science. It doesn't mean that they are officially impregnated, but it does mean that he has been trying. And if you have a ram that is proven, then it probably means that you can start your 150-day countdown from the date you see that chalk line on their back. So step 4 is going to be to write all that information down. When you gave them the CIDR, when they first got marked, once they get marked, you are going to want to count 150, 152 days after that date. That is when your lambs are probably going to be born. It is pretty consistent here on our farm, 150 days from the day they are bred. Now, keep in mind, if you do not want a fall lambing season, then you are going to need to separate your ewes and your rams coming into May and June. We try to separate ours all summer unless we want them to be bred. So if there's some you want to be bred, put them with the rams, otherwise keep them separate until you go into the fall when you would have your fall breeding season. I hope these tips help you out. I hope that you have a successful fall breeding season, spring breeding season. I hope that you're doing good on your farm, and we'll see you on the next video.